Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Today, we continue to break down Alabama versus LSU. And today, our series continues with talking about the Alabama run game going up against the LSU run defense. Now, we start off with Najee Harris. And as you can see, he's one of the top running backs in all of college football. And I know a lot of the headlines have been regarding the play of the quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa, Joe Burrow, all the dangerous wide receivers in this game. But I think one of the difference makers could be from Alabama on the offensive side of the ball, and that's Najee Harris, a big back, 6'2", 230 pounds. He's really peaking at the right time of the season. Overall, his Pro Football Focus grade, 86.2, 642 yards rushing this season, 5 touchdowns, 16 receptions, 171 yards. And I think what really sets Najee Harris apart from the pack when you look at top running backs in the country is his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. You'll see many times this season that Tua Tagovailoa, when he does check down, even Mac Jones, they check down and they look for Najee Harris, and he does a great job catching the football, making defenders miss. So I think it's important to get Najee touches in this game. Now, he did suffer a high ankle sprain against Arkansas. However, we saw him at practice this week. He looks fine. He looks good to go, very polished. You can check out those video highlights right here on our YouTube channel. But Najee Harris, very important player going into this game from the offensive side of the football. You also got to look at a player like Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson is another big back, 6'1", 230 pounds, kind of has that run you over type of attitude, and I think that he's a guy that Alabama can rotate when Najee Harris needs a blow. And I think also Alabama has shown that they like to use him during the red zone and also in short yardage situations. He's a guy who can really plow over you. He can catch the football out of the backfield as well. Not as dynamic as Najee Harris in terms of that shifty mentality, more of a run over type of guy. But he does a great job weekly, and Alabama really likes to get him in the mix. He's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, so he has a home crowd behind him, and he talked about the game of the century being 9, 10 years old. You can watch that interview right here on our YouTube channel. Great kid, and really, really big back who I think has a big future at Alabama still, and he's only a junior. I think one of the areas that Alabama's run game has really improved in the area is the fact that their offensive line is playing exceptional right now. Now, Deonte Brown, he was suspended for the first 4 games of the season. And during those first 4 games of this season, Alabama's running game, it seemed like it was almost kind of stuck in the mud. It didn't really find its rhythm. But over the last 4 weeks, Deonte Brown has been back. You've seen the offensive line really get a strong push. Now, he's a big boy, 6'4", 344 pounds. Does a great job getting a push on defensive linemen. He's really comes at you. They call him cornbread. He's big and nasty. He's a great offensive lineman addition. And then when Alabama slid over Landon Dickerson to the center position, and then they've kept Evan Neal at the guard position. This is a big offensive line. Evan Neal is a true freshman guard, 6'7", 360 pounds. So Alabama's guards are massive. Their center's been doing a great job, and their outside tackles, Alex Leatherwood and Jedrick Wills, continue to do a great job. So this is a team overall that fares well in the run. Now, I do have a question mark going into this game. Miller Forristall, as you saw, will be out with a voice box injury. He's going to have surgery actually on his throat. So Alabama will be without their best blocking tight end for this game. Look for Major Tennyson to get the call. He's a big, capable tight end as well, but Miller Forristall is a senior and has a lot of veteran leadership. So maybe that could be a vulnerability that LSU takes advantage of. Now, when we look at the LSU defense, it starts up front with their 2 big boys. Tyler Shelvin is a monster, 6'3", 346 pounds. I can't even imagine the matchup if him and Deonte Brown are to go head-to-head, or him and big Landon Dickerson, who's an Alabama center, as I said, or even Tyler Shelvin versus Evan Neal. I mean, these are some monsters in the trenches. As you know, the game is won in the trenches. Check out this. His Pro Football Focus grade this year, 85.7, 26 tackles, complete run stuffer, big boy across the middle of the field. You also have Neil Farrell Jr., who's 6'4", 300 pounds, a little bit more agile than Shelvin, obviously, 81.3, grade out on Pro Football Focus. Another big run stuffer there in the middle of the field, 31 tackles. So LSU, they've done a great job this year, really stuffing the middle of the field, and Shelvin and Farrell are certainly the big reasons why. When we look at LSU's inside linebackers, they're very talented. Jacob Phillips, big back. 6'4", 233 pounds, 59 tackles on the season. Very physical, obviously. Does a great job when selecting holes. Does a great job wrapping up tacklers in the backfield. PFF grade of 68.9. And then Patrick Queen is another quintessential part of this LSU defense at inside linebacker as well. 6'1", 277 pounds, 38 tackles, a PFF grade of 71.6. So as you can see, the middle of the field for LSU, very tough to run against. It'll be interesting to see if Alabama can get a push, if they can grind it out, should they need to, with Najee Harris and Brian Robinson. I think, as you can see, when you look at just the front units of this game, the trenches are going to be pivotal for Alabama and LSU. Now, when we look at the teams head-to-head and we kind of match up the teams, you can see that Alabama is rushing for 168 yards this season. A lot of it is because the Alabama passing game has been so prolific under Tua Tagovailoa, but Alabama can still run the football. Certainly, their national rank is 64. Don't read too much into that because their passing game is ranked number 5, as we saw yesterday. And then their PFF run grade is 85.3, and their PFF blocking grade is 85.3 as well. So this team can really put a hat on the football. They can drive off blockers, big running backs in the backfield, very capable team. When you talk about the Alabama run game. And then for LSU, they're only allowing 99 yards rushing per game. That's phenomenal. National run defensive rank of 12 in the country, and their run defensive grade is 94.3. Want to hear from you in the comment box. What do you think about this matchup between Alabama's run game and LSU's rush defense? Sound off in the comment box. Do you see any vulnerabilities? Do you think Najee Harris will rip off a big run? Do you think LSU will be able to stuff Alabama should these two meet inside the red zone when they meet on goal line situations? Want to hear from you? So sound off in the comment box. Tomorrow, we'll be previewing the Alabama offensive line versus the LSU defensive line. We'll really get in the trenches. Talk soon. Keep it locked and loaded at BamaInsider.com.